Hi, I'm Alex, this is my wife Sarah, and the cute little devil you just saw is our cat Amos. A couple of years ago we moved to Sweden. After some wandering, we found this beautiful place by the lake, surrounded by forests. Now we live on this land together with Sarah's parents and Lou, the family dog, hoping to build our legacy and a home for generations that come after us. We love to garden, build stuff, go fishing and camping, and rewrite our own music. So if we sound like your kind of people, be sure to subscribe and stick around for the whole video, because we are going to show you a new song of ours. This story begins a couple of weeks back when we were so happy that after a long winter, spring had finally come. And so we entered the season planting the seeds for the coming months, literally.
It's the middle of April and we're a bit later than last year.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
It doesn't matter anyways because it's still freezing cold outside in the night. So we still have enough time to grow stuff before we have to put it outside. We're mainly growing tomatoes and cucumbers. Those are the most fun, I think. And then some extra stuff like strawberries, squash, carrots. Every time you do this, it's like you're welcoming spring, I think. That's what it feels like, because when you're in the depth of winter and it's dark outside and it's cold outside, you don't even think about planting stuff. That's just in the back of your head, but not really there. But then when it gets lighter and the days are longer and it gets warmer outside, you get the energy and the need again to do stuff in the garden. And I think this is kind of the ritual that kicks it all off. Also, the cat enjoys it when we do stuff outside. It's like his favorite thing in the world when we join him in his activities. He doesn't understand what we're doing, but it doesn't matter. He just wants to be around.
He's happy to be around.
I think by instinct, many people would say that you can't grow stuff in a rather cold climate like Scandinavia. But we do have the advantage of the long summer days, which people always forget. We have like those 2 months or 2 to 4 months ahead of us.
Quite
which are really,
intense months of sunlight and long evenings and everything.
Yeah, and that makes up for the cold of the winter.
Yeah.
Are you just a little baby? Now we take it inside and the waiting game begins.
Spring is a very intense season because all those projects you thought about in the winter and planned out in your head hit you in full force, and it feels like everything needs to be done at once. As much as we enjoy building stuff, our first project was about making space.
Right now we're taking down 2 terraces, 2 verandas that we don't need anymore because we need space for when my parents build out their house next to ours. And the good thing is now we have spare wood that we can use for other projects on the property. And it's also nice to do it as a family. I mean, garden work or taking down stuff, building stuff takes a lot of effort, but yeah, it can also be very fun and a contrast to the computer work we're usually doing, because then you really do something with your hands and you see a progress. I think that's really fun. Back to work.
By the way, this is the update after a week. Cucumber, zucchini, tomatoes, basil, oregano, coriander, Thai basil. Just the strawberries aren't coming in.
So now is exactly the right time to build more raised beds in the garden so we have space for all the plants that are going to grow, because it's going quite fast. Are you having a nap? No. Amoschen. So this is our lovely future vegetable and herb garden. Last year we bought 5 raised beds, but this year we actually want to build 2 more on the space that we have here, 2 large ones. And since we have a lot of extra wood from the balconies we took down, we're gonna build them ourselves.
Okay, hast du Anzeichen?
And I am living for this weather today. It's a bit windy, but it's like really, really warm. It's t-shirt weather. Who would have thought that like 2 weeks ago when we had a snowfall that we could run around like this at the end of April. It is amazing. So you see, when you live in Sweden for a longer time, you become really good at talking about the weather. I love it. Summer is around the corner.
Done with the first?
Yes. Pleasure working with you so far. You owe everything to me and my knowledge and my know-how. And
Yeah, exactly, okay. Done. We discovered that we need more space. That's why we will today start the process of turning this balcony porch thingy into a shed. But first we need wood, so let's get some.
my father always says, the materials you think you need for a task is only half of what you actually need. Turns out, this philosophy is also true in terms of time. Against our expectations, it took all day and several trips to the store to get everything for the shed built. You might think that we would learn from this and not have unrealistic expectations every time we do a project, but to be honest, we probably won't. And we're in good company because my father also often says, this project will be done in half an hour. And we all know it never is.
Look at my wife. Isn't she amazing? She's fired today.
But inside I feel like a hunchback because I've been painting like this all afternoon.
But you did a great job.
I think it looks amazing.
Looks very, very nice.
Yeah.
done with the first, but now we're gonna start with the shed, and I will probably continue tomorrow with the second rose, whatever it's called in English.
In a meadow where the wild rivers roam stood an ancient willow in the storm by the water. She swayed in the breeze. Tell me, willow, what have you seen?
A project like building a shed is a journey of discovery that often takes longer than expected and presents unforeseen challenges along the way. You're bound to encounter questions that need answering and moments where you feel overwhelmed and frustrated when things don't go as planned. This feeling resonates with us in many aspects of life. Moving to another country where we didn't speak the language or understand the customs was a challenge. Finding our footing in this new environment was a process. But through perseverance and resilience, we gradually found our place despite the initial struggles. It's a lesson we've learned time and time again. The darkest moments often pave the way for the brightest outcomes. So when we wrote our new song, we had this image in our mind of a graceful willow tree standing in the storm, bending with the winds, never breaking. We named it Willow in the Storm.
Side by side, hand in hand, when you're with me, you're never alone. In the eye of the storm, like a willow I stand. Others might break, I gracefully bend to the wind's wild song. A brave heart is born, that's the tale of the willow in the storm. A brave heart is born. In the eye of the storm, like a willow I stand. Where others might break, I gracefully bend to the wind's wild song. A brave heart is born, that's the tale of the willow in the storm. The willow in the storm. In the eye of the storm, like a willow I stand. Where others might break, I gracefully bend to the wind's wild song. A brave heart is
We are independent artists, which means that everything you see and hear is made by us and our collaborators. If you like our music, please check it out on Spotify and share it with your friends. While you're at it, like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can grow a bigger community.
I'm taking a little break, walking down to the lake to measure the water temperature. And first of all, shed is coming along very nicely. Looks really, really cool, I think. Also, the garden is such a dream. I can't wait till stuff grows there. I have those blueberry bushes, wild blueberry bushes here in the garden. And I just discovered that they are already growing fruit. Nature is literally exploding at the moment. Every day it's getting greener and greener. And it's so warm again today. It feels like you're never prepared for spring. You feel like you're living in an endless winter. And then someday it's just warm. You're barefoot again. You're wearing a t-shirt. You have sun in your face. And life is good. The water is getting warmer literally each day. The last time I measured was like 3 or 4 days ago and we had 8 degrees in the lake and now it's 10. So it's really growing every day. We're getting towards summer. I feel like we talk a lot about how happy we are about spring in this video, but rightfully so. I think winter is amazing too. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, I can't stand the cold. I do love winter, but once it becomes spring and summer, you truly realize those are the better seasons. You just feel much more alive and more energetic. You have the energy to do so much, whereas in the winter you're just a bit sluggish, I think. So I'm really happy about the seasons changing, and it's ever so special at the lake. It's like once it's becoming spring and all the ice has melted away and I can sit here down by the lake and it's not cold and it's not that windy and it's not frosty, then I can really, really appreciate the lake again. Then I know again why we moved here. I never want to take this for granted because it's really, really special. Come here. Yeah. I'm on the same morning walk literally every day with the dog. A couple of months ago we uploaded a video where we showed our daily life in the winter here by the lake. And I took the same morning walk and I showed you how everything looks. And I would say it looks a lot different now. Back then we had minus 20 degrees and it was super cold, a lot of snow. And I have to say those morning walks are a lot more fun now. Since the contrast between summer and winter is so drastic here, every time it becomes spring, it feels like it's the first time. And you've never experienced it before. Is it too warm for you already? Lou is 16 years old, so he's taking his morning walks very slowly. He's enjoying every second of it. We have a lot of wild raspberries here in the area. Basically everything is covered in those beautiful wild raspberries. They're really, really tiny, but very, very sweet, and they taste very good. And I also harvest the leaves of the raspberries, especially in the spring when they are still fresh, and then I dry them and I use it as tea, which is really, really good. But they need to grow a little bit more before I start harvesting.
That's how far we came yesterday. And today I think we will complete the construction of the frame. First one is done, time for the second. After a couple of days of hard work. We are finally done with the raised beds and the shed, and now the only thing left to do is to give you a little tour. Space for every occasion. Boats, skis, gardening, fishing, tools. Everything has its own place now. And you kind of need that space if you're living in the countryside. That's at least what we found, because you have a lot of stuff to do. So you need a lot of tools, and you need enough space to store those tools. And that's the view from the new shed. Oh yeah, and also in those couple of days an excavator was here, and we had the land prepared for the future house Sarah's parents are gonna build, and also prepare the garden.
It's a huge difference compared to 4 weeks ago when we had a huge pond there. Everything was just chaos, no shed. So we've come quite a long way in those couple of weeks.
We're proud of ourselves.
And just like that, spring has already shifted into summer, and we are entering the season of nights where the sun never fully sets. The season of being out on the water all day. The season of never-ending chores around the house and the garden. It's all part of living in this beautiful place by the lake.